So today we're going to speak about the wisdom of the Oscars. The wisdom of the Oscars. So today, this particular Oscar was one of the wisest, most powerful, most amazing Oscars we have ever had in the history of all the Oscars. Thank you to Jimmy Kimmel, because Jimmy Kimmel was able to just work his magic in such a beautiful way. What Jimmy Kimmel is Jimmy Kimmel is that kid in the Thanksgiving table that just blurts out and says, "So Aunt Sally and Aunt Susie are getting married and they like dildos. Who's gonna get him a dildo? I was gonna get him a dildo." That kid, you know? So he is, and I think a lot of times, that's at least that's how I feel about Jimmy Kimmel, in a lot of ways. And then from a personal perspective, there's been twice I've become angry at Jimmy Kimmel, and I'm like, no, you can't do that. That's wrong. It's like, I forget why. I forget why I did it. But I think ultimately what Jimmy Kimmel does is, and that's what's the beauty of Jimmy Kimmel, is that he's such a wise soul that he's able to help us address and overcome the issues. Now, I think we're going to talk a little bit about the Oscar recap, but this is mostly going to stay within Jimmy Kimmel because I love the guy. I've learned a new level of appreciation. The Oscars last night, it was amazing. It was beautiful. It was beautiful in its sense of progression, in its sense of growth, in its sense of addressing the issues and not sweeping them under the rug, but actually talking about them. And I think that's what art is. Art brings to the forefront what we need to address. That was beautiful. So first, I want to give little highlights. Viola Davis and Mahershala Ali both won for Best Supporting Actors. And the reason why I highlight them is because they talked about the craft. And they talked about the love of acting and theater. And it was just really beautiful to talk about that and to remember that, like, as an actor myself, to kind of go back as a comedian, as an actor, as the various things that we're all trying to play, to go back and understand, like, Viola Davis was talking about the most important people, and she would like to exhume the stories of the people that almost could, their dreams and their wishes and what happened, And then Mahershala Ali was talking about the craft and loving the craft and how, the elements of the craft. I need to go back to watch Mahershala Ali's because his was earlier in the scene cast. So then we've got Meryl Streep, standing ovation. That was really amazing. I think that a lot of times we think about, I think some people, myself included, will sometimes sounds like, oh, Meryl Streep, like, it's just like, come on. It's like, Neapolitan ice cream. You got the three, it's like something for everyone. And everybody loves, but it's like, no, I want orange sherbet. That's the kind of feeling that sometimes it's like when everybody talks about something so much, you're like, but last night talking about the fact that how Meryl Streep, really looking at the accomplishments in a joking way and addressing the issue of the president of the United States going after a celebrity, it just was an amazing, amazing moment, and it was an amazing, beautiful moment that really showed. I think the highlight of the Oscars last night was the love of the craft. The passion, the amazing love of the craft. And even though, some people like myself would have wished that Moonlight would have walked away with 6 or maybe 8, but, La La Land walked away with a lot of them. And I think that you can look at the history and say, what the Oscars is kind of like a barometer of humanity and society. Like, what are we trying to address? What are we talking about? What is happening? So Meryl Streep getting her standing ovation for the love of the craft. Love of the craft really was an amazing, iconic element that people were talking about. Matt Damon and Jimmy Kimmel. The only lowlight I would say is the Matt Damon-Jimmy Kimmel feud. I think they should have taken it a whole new level. I think they should have totally transformed it and maybe into a psychotic obsession that they have with each other. I think that would be an interesting take in the relationship. And we've already seen season 1. Can we move on to season 2? I think we'd have more fun, right? So the fake feud, I go ahead and nix that now and move on. The candy was beautiful. That was really amazing, right? That was really sweet. What are they going to do next year? Maybe donations for nonprofit organizations, like people if they donate, like a donation will drop down, like on your name, this $100 donation or $1,000 donation. I don't know, something like that. Then the salesman boycott. That was a powerful moment when the director of the salesman did not show up in an Iranian film. And I think that in a lot of ways, sometimes boycotts are one of those things where like you really kind of have to ride the wave. And if everybody's riding the wave, then it works really well. But if not everybody's riding the wave, you're kind of like, like, And I think last night, really, the Oscars was very inclusive and was talking about the craft. And a lot of the directors got up there and talked about how they were immigrants and how the beautiful things they brought into this country. So I think having the salesman there for their win and the ability of the director to be able to speak about it, I think maybe would have really played up the element. But it is what it is, and this is the second win for the director. Then we've got Jimmy Kimmel. Oh yeah, the whole thing was about Jimmy Kimmel. Totally forgot. So backstory on Jimmy Kimmel and I. Not like, I've been to his show 3 times. Whenever I go to a show, I always think about the host and how nervous they are every time they do it. So I'm like almost like a psychotic clown. I'm like, yeah, you are a celebrity. I don't know who you are, but wow. So it's like, and it's genuine. It's not like fake. I think that some people can come off fake and everything. Definitely, I think that I stand out. So I try not to like be in shows because I have a very strong personal energy. So, and before that, I used to work at Nordstrom's in Glendale, and Jimmy Kimmel came once, and he came with somebody. I believe he came with his co-host for the Man Show, Adam Carolla, and he came in, and I knew. I mean, Adam Carolla was a big thing. I think he was the one. Everybody was talking about Adam Carolla, but Jimmy Kimmel come in and this like mousy, chubby little guy, and I knew that guy. There's something to that guy, and I think that's why there's that visceral pain sometimes. When he says something, I was like, oh no, Jimmy, unfollow, unlink. I'm not gonna listen to what you gotta say. No, I'm not gonna watch your show. And then there's moments like this when you realize that you're able to go back in time and understand the whole context of the entire story and how this person really delivers the best Oscars we've ever seen, period. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Did you hear the jokes about the president? I mean, he was on point. Everybody was on point. It looked like maybe they scripted everything. Because it's just an amazing revelation of like, do you agree? Do you disagree? I want to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful year. And I love you, Jimmy. I really want to say that in this time of pain and suffering that humanity is going through, I think you, taking it and talking about the elephant in the room, not like sweeping it under the rug. It's like, we're going to make some yuck. So it's like, no. And the whole Mel Gibson thing, I love it. I love the whole Mel Gibson thing because a lot of people's attitudes about Mel Gibson, dude, buddy, you made a lot of money. A lot of money. And then you said some racist statements. Should we continue to feed someone who is in that public eye with those particular elements? And maybe there's the whole ritual transformation that we need to do by delivering a movie that is, from a specific, maybe to like maybe look at Othello. Please, could you give us Othello? Let me know what you think. I want to wish you all a wonderful, wonderful year, because I would love to play Iago. Bye.